Right, this is Miniature Modeller Paul with an update on my Challenger Mark 1, I keep saying Mark, Challenger 1 Mark 3, and here she is. Now I did do a previous update video and dumped it because at the end of the day I thought myself I might as well go and move a bit further along, and that's exactly what I've done. And she's not completed. I've got to do a lot of photo etch on this tank and around the back end and on across the top and where it's needed and hatches and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But as you can see, the first bit of photo etch has actually gone on, which is this bit here, which is the actual basket on the front. Went on quite nice. I used gator glue, and here it is, my trusty gator glue. It's a bit like white glue, obviously. Here it is, and whoops, let's put it this way here. Gator glue, and what I did is I smoothed it on with a cocktail stick and then let it start to set, and then push my photo etch into it, and it seems to do a good job. I may probably run an extra bit of fan super glue, dab a little bit in different corners just to give it extra bit of strength, but I have touched it quite a bit and doesn't seem to be affected by it, so that's good. And let's face it, I won't be touching it much after it's completed anyway. So also I used 0.43 brass rod for all the handles that you can see around there. You can see the brassy bits I made, and if I zoom in a bit better I think you'll see a little bit. I'll just move it up slightly and move in. Let's see if it's still in focus. Yes, it is. So basically you've got all these brass handles around the front. There's four around on this side. There's one over on this one, and you've got 3 round on this side, 4 actually, because you've got one over there, 2 over the back here on the top of the turret, and all around here, 3 down this side, 1 at the back, 1 on and the hatches have been done. These weren't drilled out and taken off, they're just cut off. I'll get a closer look at that in a minute. But they've all been replaced, and then the other ones I've got left to replace, and you can see these little bumps at the back on the actual lower hull part, armoured plates. They've got to be cut off and actually done in the same way. So we've actually got those actually done as well. So there's 5 on each side. So there's 10 more to do, but they don't take long once you get started. But there's a lot more photo etching going. You can see basically how it's come. Now if I'll just zoom back. I'll just zoom out so you can see the turret bit. There we go. Now this is, the turret is actually glued together now, top and bottom, and all the slits on the side. It's just that the gun fits perfectly, and I've done that, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I think you can actually see now where the handles are. You can see these little brass. There is a different colour all the way around. Done these bits over here. I've also done the aerial bits over there. So if I just turn that over a bit more, I might be able to see a bit more. The aerial bits here I've actually done, both sides. I've actually cleaned them all up. They had a nasty attachment point on both of them below, and it stood out like a sore thumb, so I had to cut it off with a sharp scalpel. Done that, basically, then cleaned it all up, and then centered the hole. And what I use is an old, where is it? It's over there, an airbrush needle, and I use that for centering all my holes on anything I want to drill into. And then what I did is I actually pushed it into the mid, found the middle, pushed it in so there's an indentation, so the drill actually sits in a little hole to actually start the drilling. A bit like you do with wood when you countersunk things for screws, the same similar way. So did that for both. They're both in place. I've got to sort out this bit here because on the European one it has a flashing warning light on it, which because it's part of road regulations in Germany, and most countries would have them, even England. We have them when you see them around Bovington Tank Museum, training tanks running around, or it's mainly a body with a turret, and you see the flashing light, and that's is a warning light, which is basically law most of Europe as well. So you can see there's a gap here. You can see the gap. It's because it's not. It's just the hole is sitting on top, so it allows me. These wheels are actually not. These all come off. All the row wheels and the drive sprockets all come off. But I have glued the return roller ones inside. So I've done so they all come off for easy painting. And coming round. All this will receive photo etch grills, so that's all done now, all the way around. And I think you can see quite nicely there. That's it. So things are coming along nicely. I haven't got the cables on yet. That will eventually come on because you can paint them after they're on as well. And that's what she looks like. So if I zoom out again. There she is. Now, this bit's done. I'll just show you the bits I've done as well. I've actually done this bit. It's all nice and cleaned up, so let go there. The gun barrel been done as well. My last video, this wasn't very well in focus, but I think it is now. But there you go, so it's all done and cleaned up, all the bits, you can't see it, but once you put a primer on that, any slight, you can always see the join, but it's very faint, so with a bit of paint on it you won't even notice it. But I have cleaned it up, including this bit here, which took a little while, but I used extra thin. Once I cleaned that round, I used a brush and kept just run around a few times with the extra thin to get any excess thing out, and it does actually, you can see the joint, there's a very fraction of joint there, but the extra thin does a good job on it. So there you go. So that was that done. And the drums. The drums, I decided I wanted to make them look a bit better altogether, so I'll put that like that, a bit better altogether by actually doing it what you see it. So I've actually taken off, I don't know if it's going to show very good because it's being white, I've taken off all the rims around it, because that's exactly how it looks on the tank. So I took all the rims around it, cleaned them up, and then basically gave it a coat of primer, as you can see, just to see whether it cleared up, and it has. So I'm quite happy with that. And I've done one the other same. They are sided, these things, because the actual joiner's got a little lug on one of them, so they are sided. But there you go. So cleaning them up, I used a heavy floor sander stick, and then went down to the lighter one, and then done a soft sponge afterwards, making sure I didn't take too much detail off the belt. So as you can see, it's still there, and it'd be easy to paint them. And mine will be like a red oxide-ish colour, that's the same as the ones I've seen in the photographs, and it gives a bit of a different description for it. So that's that. Also, let's push this further back now out of the way. There you go. Also, the tracks have been done, as you can see. These were done when I was over at my mum's one day, so I did and then I joined them all together when I got back. But so they're all done. They're not been burnished, because basically all I wanted to, not burnished, yeah, it is burnished when they change the colour, because I've used super glue obviously, and I should have done the tracks first, but I didn't want to wear it because I'm going to paint them anyway. So both sets are done. That's done. So all that's left me to do now is to carry on with basically building the bits and pieces. So putting the photo etch on, and then getting ready for painting later on. It may take me a while now, because photo etch is quite a thing. There's quite a few bits to go all the way around the vehicle, and I'm going to do. I'm not going to use them all, because obviously I haven't used any of the handles, because I think they're too flimsy. If you touched them, it would actually drop in. So I haven't done those. So there you go. So this is how she is, and that's how she looks. Let's put it back out again and turn it. There you go. Oops. The light's a bit bright, I suppose. I'll turn that down a fraction. There you go. So that's how far I've got with her now. Oh, by the way, the hatch is just like that, and it will be like that all the time. When I paint it, I will paint it in situ, and then I'll start doing the detail stuff with the periscopes afterwards. So that's not completely finished, because I've got to have the hatch on it and all. So there you go. So that's how far I've got so far, and happy modelling, and I'll catch you at the next video. So this was update number 1. Thank you. Happy modelling.